evening. This is Frankly Speaking Live with your host, Frank Holzhauser, and my empty chair co-host this week, David Kanyuk. And David informed me this week that he's involved in a Macbeth play, and he's going to be out of commission for 3 weeks, and he's an unhappy, sad camper. So, Maddie, you have been enlisted. You may be doing some talking tonight.
I don't feel like I had a proper warning notification.
What do they call that? You're drafted. You've been drafted.
They don't do that anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, as I told Maddie, I'll do a show tonight, and I've been involved in 3 View from the Pews this week with Mac McCoy. I'll be doing that from now on.
On Wednesdays?
On Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Very cool. With him?
Yes, with him.
Very
and I
cool.
will host my own show on the radio occasionally on Wednesday.
Interesting.
Yes.
Will I be producing that? Or will it just be normal?
It'll be at 3:00 time slot.
Gotcha.
So it'll
Understand.
probably be Ryan.
That makes sense.
But to say the least, I'm a little unprepared and frazzled for tonight. I wasn't sure if I was actually going to do a show, but I figured Maddie would like to get some Christmas presents.
I could use it, yeah.
So you could use a little. Funds. So I'll go as long as I can. I can go tonight, and if you would like to join the conversation, you can call 515-244-0077, and you're welcome to call. And I've been so frazzled this week that I didn't get anything posted on Facebook or didn't mention to anybody about my program, so I hope I have some listeners. Well, David and I on our normal show, we like to start out our show with a little bit about faith, and then we tend to move into the political arena. And I guess that I've done a lot of posting on Facebook of some things that maybe I will use tonight to catch up on, and just make sure that some of this wisdom doesn't go to waste. How much, Maddie, do you know about the Reformation?
The Reformation?
Yes, as in starting in, roughly coming out of the Dark Ages, the Renaissance and the Reformation.
Oh, you know what? I don't know a lot about that. I don't.
Well, I'm sure your grandpa has told you a little bit about the Reformation, and you realize that the Renaissance and the Reformation, I call them twin sisters. They actually, may have happened 50, 75 years apart, but in the grand scheme of time, the Dark Ages probably encompassed 1,200 plus years. So the papacy had sat on and contained, held down, strangled both science and faith. And Catholic Church actually imprisoned was the astronomer Galileo Galilei. That was his name. So a lot of atheists and agnostics and infidels, deists, universalists, faith and science shouldn't be mutually exclusive. And I think what gave the church such a bad name during the Dark Ages was the papacy, because it squashed out religious light, plus it just denied science. So the people that were both of a scientific mind and a scientific mind and a religious mind were both thwarted. And of course, when the contemporaries now look back upon that time, they think, well, it's all the church's fault. But basically, I don't know. You have a friend in tonight. Introduce your friend.
This is my friend Lauren.
Hello, everybody.
And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you go to school. You're
Yeah. I actually got into the International Culinary Arts program through the Arts Institutes. So I finished all my online classes, and now I'm just waiting to actually start physically chopping and doing all that fun stuff.
so you appreciate the arts and science.
Oh, yeah.
Philosophy.
Oh, yeah. Philosophy. Well, I'm also a writer. I also finished my AA in liberal arts, minoring in creative writing so that I could go to school and actually publish my own cookbooks or my own biographies.
Now, I saw your head in there shaking a little bit when I mentioned the word atheist and agnostic.
Oh, yeah.
Do you consider yourself one of these?
No. I'm more of a paganist, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but believe it or not, I believe, the whole health, everything earth free, happy love, hippie kind of stuff,
So are you? Would you kind of subscribe to what they used to call, I guess, in the early '70s, the New Age movement,
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I think I was born in the wrong generation.
where everything in essence is God?
Yes, no, not even close.
So, like maybe the earth, the sky, the wind, the rain.
Yeah.
The sun.
Well, there's still a higher power. There's still got to be something out there, controlling all this. But if it's a god, if it's a goddess, whatever anybody wants to believe, it's go right ahead. But it's a higher power. There's something out there.
Well, so you agree that it didn't happen by happenstance?
Oh God, no, that did not happen. I don't think it happened by that way.
Now you're young enough that obviously you've been taught evolution.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you try to mesh the two? Do you try to marry the two somehow and come up with some?
For the most part. Yeah, for the most part. I do believe, there is two things. Sometimes they do go together, sometimes they don't.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fables in life, lots of different stories like to create those two and to balance together, but as a physical speaking, it can be, I think honestly that we're not here by accident.
So you're not one of the people that would believe nothing comes from nothing.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't believe that.
So if Maddie, if you went home tonight, I guess you got to share the headphones. If you went home tonight and your husband was at home and you come popping in the kitchen and there was a zebra in your kitchen.
Can we keep it?
Okay. After you cleaned
Seriously, though.
after you cleaned up a few of its certain droppings, you may say, "Can we get rid of it?"
Yeah.
No, but somewhat seriously here, if you come home this evening and there was a zebra in your kitchen, and you said to your husband, "Hey, what's a zebra doing here?" and he said, "I don't know." Well, where'd it come from? Well, I don't know. In other words,
The zebra had to come from somewhere.
the zebra had to come from something.
Yep.
Did the Mona Lisa, you're an artist, you can switch the headphones back. The Mona Lisa, did it exist in Da Vinci's paintbrush? Or, I mean, in other words, did the Mona Lisa pre-exist Da Vinci? Did it exist in his paintbrush, or did the Mona Lisa exist in his mind?
Both. I believe both. Because, at first, it's obviously got to be in his mind. But in order for him to get it out of his mind, he has to use his hand, which is also a movement of your brain. Use the paintbrush. So I would say a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So back to the zebra. Now, if Ed Fallon went home and found a bicycle in his kitchen, he probably wouldn't think nothing of it, right?
Probably not.
Okay.
He loves that bicycle.
He
It's
loves
part
that-
of the family.
He loves that bicycle more than life itself. You know, it's funny.
He's starting to like his walking stick a little bit more and his walking shoes.
Yeah, well,
You
I could
notice
loan
that?
him some gray whiskers and he could go around as Moses.
There we go.
Okay, but now he loves this bicycle. How did he manage without it for a over 3,000-mile trip that took 6 months? Over 6 months?
9 months.
Was he having bicycle withdrawals?
You know, he may have experienced such a severe emotional reaction to not having his bicycle that he has clung to walking. You know what I mean? Almost like Stockholm syndrome
Okay.
with the walking. Maybe he missed it so much that's why he can't stop walking everywhere now. Did he tell you that he can't stop walking places?
Now, did he? I've heard some rumors that he's thinking of another march, or no, or a smaller version.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. I think he wanted to do some kind of something. He wanted to plan something.
Now, when he did you feel like when he come back from the march, he come back a little disillusioned, a little down? No, was he pumped up?
I couldn't tell. He came back. I don't think he seemed disillusioned, but he wasn't pumped. But I don't know. Maybe he's tired.
I don't think the climax of his journey out there quite ended up what he thought it was going to be.
He's probably accepted that it's a start, though.
Yeah. Well, now, getting back to you, your friend, and what did you tell you? Was it Lauren?
Correct, Lauren.
Lauren, okay. You believe there's some sort of higher power that we didn't just come from nothing, and something has to control this. Are you a mathematician at all?
No, I actually suck really bad at math.
Okay, well I'm not real good at it either, but
No.
but I think you might understand this. And this is coming from my brain, so excuse me if it's electron or proton, but I read this formula that physical law has to be so in tune and in balance that it's like this mathematical equation, 1 part in 10 to the 37th. Now, I don't know if that means 10 with 37 zeros behind it, 37th power, how they exactly pronounce that mathematical equation, but it works out to something like this. If you took the North American continent, that would include Canada and Mexico, North American continent, and you stack dimes on that continent, the whole continent, to the moon. Okay, so imagine the whole North American continent with stacks of dimes in it to the moon. Can you just
Yeah, I can
picture
imagine that. Yeah, oh yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Now take 1 billion such continents just like that. Then inside that, put 1 red dime, 1 painted red dime, and blindfold Maddie, your friend, and tell her in 1 shot, pick out that dime. That's trillions of stacks of dimes, I surmise. The moon is 239,000 miles from Earth. I don't know. I don't know the precise mathematical equation. But what would be the chance? That's the odds, or the chances that somebody would be able to pick out that 1 thin red dime. Now that's how close I believe it is neutrons to either protons or electrons has to be for the gravitational pull not to overwhelm, so that everything stays in place. And without this mathematic formula, this Earth couldn't have been formed, nor the galaxy it sits in. But yet moral law has to be more precise than that. Well, this has been Frankly Speaking Live with your host, Frank Holzhauser, and I'm by myself this week, except for Maddie producing. David is on hiatus for a couple weeks, and we will return after the break.
Concept Studios. This is Webcast One Live.
If you choose to obey the power of sin, it leads to death. if you choose to obey obedience, it leads to righteousness.
Forgiveness is just the beginning of life in Christ. God wants us to live for Him now.
And because of Jesus Christ, the gospel was preached, and you and I are blessed today because of Abraham. Did you know that? We're blessed.
Experience Truth, 99.3 FM.
Whether you're 10, 25, 50, 80 years old and beyond, everyone needs to live within their means. I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of America. For almost a quarter of a century, we've helped people of all ages learn to manage their personal finances to benefit them far into the future. When problems arise, we've got the experience you need to make those debt problems go away. Got financial problems? Call Consumer Credit of America.
Hey, psst. Let me let you in on a little secret. You ready? Always try to do business with people, not places, especially if you seek honest Christian business people. And when it comes to my car, I really need to trust who's working on it. Now, my family is so blessed. A few years ago, we found a family-owned automobile repair shop that operates as a Christian business also. Open, honest, reliable, trustworthy. It's AMCO on Hickman Road in front of Kmart. And it's a family-owned Christian operating business. This family treats your car as if it was their car. Everything from oil changes to transmission repair and everything in between. So the next time you feel the need to be at peace with your choice of who you can trust with your car, give AMCO on Hickman a chance to serve you. And tell them Max sent you.
The only way we come to know the Saviorship of Jesus Christ is by bowing and acknowledging that He is Lord and King over all the earth.
Jesus Christ died on a cross, paid the penalty for our sin, and by repenting of our sin and accepting Him by faith, what He did for us, we are forgiven.
Salvation is not a combination of faith and works. Salvation is by faith alone in God.
Experience Truth, 99.3 FM.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
And we're back with Frankly Speaking Live. I'm your host, Frank Holzhauser, and my co-host, David Kenyuk Jr., is, as I said at the start of the show, taking a 3-week hiatus and involved in a Macbeth play. And so I wasn't sure I was going to do a show tonight, but Maddie, my producer, lovely Maddie, brought her friend in, who is Lauren, and introduce yourself a little bit.
Hello, everybody. Well, my name is Lauren. I've just been coming here just because I'm here to support my friend Maddie, and now she just decided, hey, you have a good voice, and you're doing very well, so just keep going. So I'm here to entertain you guys.
I was listening to you in the producing room, and I brought you in. You might as well sit in front of the camera. And so you're a student somewhere?
Yep, I actually got into the International Culinary Arts program through the Arts Institutes. So I'm going to do my degree in international culinary to figure out exactly what I want my specialty to be.
And what are you leaning towards?
I'm honestly, so far I've cooked every types of cuisines, and I'm good at everything. So I don't know exactly which one I want.
Where's dinner?
Yeah, I know. I should have brought Thanksgiving. I mean, it's Christmas. Yeah, wrong holiday.
With what you're comfortable talking about, describe some of your religious influence and upbringing.
Oh, well, I was born and raised baptized Catholic. My father and my grandfather were both very practicing in the Catholic churches. I did that for almost my entire life. Now that I'm 21, I'm just starting to, to learn exactly what this world really is about. I'm still going to church every Sunday with my grandfather, still trying to just figure out who I am as a person, and just always remember that there is one higher power.
Yeah. So we talked a little bit while you was in the producing room, which is adjacent to our studio here. And you were kind of self-describing yourself as a, what was the word, paganist?
Oh, yes, paganist. Just a little bit, I would say. I've done a lot of, I was just recently diagnosed with cancer on my 21st birthday. I had that removed, and so, with all the medications they have you on, I started looking through home remedies, things like that. And when you find stuff like that, obviously you're going to find a lot of things on paganism.
Have you researched diet?
Oh yeah. Diet is, well, I obviously went to school, for the culinary thing, and I already took all my nutrition classes, so.
Well, let me present, without trying to proselytize you, okay? Just a personal opinion, a conviction of mine, that the easiest way that I have found in my life to find something that I lost, car keys, whatever, sunglasses, glasses, whatever, I try to backtrack each step till I get back to the point where I thought I last had them or seen them.
I do the exact same thing.
Okay.
Yep.
If you will backtrack man's evolution in Eden, it says that Adam actually lived 900 plus years in the beginning of the Bible. But we had to partake of what they call the tree of life. After Adam and Eve was expelled from the garden, they actually was able to live 900 plus years without eating of that tree of life. And their height, some people has estimated that Adam may have been 16 foot tall. Eve was a head and shoulders shorter, so she would have been roughly 15. So since Adam and Eve, and us creationists, believe the world to be a young world, about 6,000 years old, man has devolved from that height to the current average height we are now and the average lifespan we have now. I will suggest to you, in your young life, in your research, that the precise reason for the shortening of man's lifespan, his height, his ability to think, his mental capacity, we use about roughly 10% of our brains. Imagine what it would be like to use all 100.
I don't think I could handle it.
But it's directly flesh eating.
Yep.
Meat eating.
I agree with you more and more.
And the closer you can get to the Eden diet of fruit mainly, vegetables was added later on, raw fruits and vegetables, you should eat as much of that as you can. You should, if you do eat meat, I believe there's biblical meats that we should eat. We should cook whatever meat you're eating. It's a plus to cook it and not eat it what you would call rare.
Yeah, ew.
Because of a lot of the bloodborne pathogens are going to come through the blood. So don't eat something with a lot of excess fat, a lot of excess blood. Fruits and vegetables, grains.
Yep, rice, lots of rice. Rice noodles are really good.
Fresh air, sunshine, clean water, healthier diet. And I have a personal conviction that chemotherapy and radiation is just death.
It is. It's just death waiting to happen.
I would just as soon eat as well as I could possibly eat and take my chances. My father died of brain cancer. They told him that he had he didn't want to take a biopsy, but they told him, well, if you don't do anything, 2 to 6 weeks. If you go through their treatments, maybe you could kick around 2 to 3 years. But they told us privately about 6 months, my sister and I. He went through radiation, and he stopped smoking, obviously, for the final time, and didn't smoke the rest of his life.
Yeah.
His cancer mostly came from smoking for 40 years. He lived 6 months and a day. I think if he would have done nothing,
Yep. He would still be here.
no.
Oh.
I think if he would have done nothing, he would have lived the 6 months. I don't think the radiation added anything to, because they said 6 months. He made it 6 months and a day. So my point is if I get it, I would take my own advice. I would just eat the best I can, leave it in God's hands.
Yep.
Or that higher power that you spoke of. I happen to believe that's God.
Yep.
And he loves you, cares about you, and suffers the pain you suffer, knows what you're suffering. And you follow him and try to get as close to the Garden of Eden diet as you can possibly get. And I think you'll see a lot of good results.
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't. I've done everything except for the whole going outside. Obviously, I'm really pale.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got to wear.
yep.
Well, I have that red hair also.
Yeah, I just stayed inside. Well, with all the radiation, you just get sick a lot. You throw up a lot.
I've heard this, that a lot of people say that the sun is supposed to cause skin cancer, which I suppose it's possible,
Yeah,
but
but-
diet is more the issue of cancer, skin cancer, any kind of cancer. But sun heals cancer.
Yep.
So if you can get a hat on, little sunscreen on your nose, cover up the things that's going to burn,
Yep.
that sunlight will do wonders for you.
It's stuff that you can't buy over the store.
Yeah.
You can't buy the sun in the store.
Okay, that's my sermon this week for the soapbox. No. So you was mentioning you're going to school and you're in the culinary arts. You've got an artistic streak, writing streak that you pursue also.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I was going to DMAC. I'm going back to finish my degree. I was going for an AA in liberal arts while also minoring in creative writing so that I could publish my own type of books. But ever since I was probably about 8 years old, I've been writing my own self-handwritten journals.
Okay.
And, yep.
Hey, Maddie, you can put her name up on the screen underneath of us in case the viewers didn't get to catch her name. You know how to spelling.
I think she can spell it right.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about my faith and a little bit about where I think we all got detoured as humans. And it was through what we refer to as the Dark Ages. Have you studied? Are you a little aware of the Dark Ages?
Yes, for the most part. I mean, my grandfather made sure that I knew exactly what history was. Even if I didn't learn anything in school, he made sure that I knew.
Okay. Well, as a result of the Dark Ages, we have what they call the Reformation, and this is where individual, I guess, followers of Jesus Christ started slowly breaking away from the papacy, become a Protestant movement. I guess one of the most famous of the reformers, Martin Luther, nailed the 99 Theses to the wall or the door of something. But I guess the point is that the church kind of done a real good job, and when I say the church, I mean Papal Rome, done a pretty good job of sandwiching, not the word I want.
It was close.
Squashing truth and science, art, philosophy. And anybody who wanted to learn or espouse of these things were heretics. In that day, there was a lot of superstition. People didn't have full copies of Bibles. Martin Luther, until he got in the monastery, hadn't seen a full translation of a Bible in his life. So the papacy was suppressing the word to the people, and the word should go right to the people. There should be no intermediary between God and you. You can go right to God. You don't have to have Maddie, me, your grandpa. You don't have to have nobody to go to God, because you got a direct link to God. In the Dark Ages, that it wasn't that way. The church said they were the intermediary, if that's the right pronunciation. Probably not.
We're close. We're close. It's
Intermediary. Probably butchered it again. But they kept the Bibles from people. They kept people ignorant, in superstition, ignorant of faith, ignorant of science. So when people thought the world was flat, that suited the Catholic Church's purposes fine. When the papacy imprisoned Galileo Galilei and squashed science, that served their purpose fine. Because I think science, when you delve into science, science will prove the existence of God. Because you have to, even you, at your young age, know this isn't an accident. Well, this has been Frankly Speaking Live with your host, Frank Holzhauser. And my co-host, David Kaniuk, is gone this week. And Lauren is sitting in and doing a good job.
Thank you so much,
And, of course,
guys.
Maddie producing.
Yeah,
We will
thank you,
return after
Maddie.
the break.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid,
I am Bernie Hobbs,
and I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing. We have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
Boom
And we're back with Frankly Speaking Live. I'm your host, Frank Holzhauser, and sitting in with me this week is Lauren.
Hello, everybody.
Maddie, come in for a second. I want to get your vivacious mug on the camera, just so the folks that do listen to our show know who we're talking about. And this is Maddie and Lauren. They're both 21 years old.
I'm 20.
Yep,
You're
she's
20,
I'm
you're 21,
Yep.
and they've been spending all day together.
Yeah.
Bosom buddies.
Yeah, besties.
Date night.
All right, so Maddie, she can't spend too long in here because she's got an important job to do in the other room. Well, I would share this story with you, okay? This is how the Reformation kind of, imagine, you ever wonder why there's so many denominations and so many churches?
Yeah, I've always wondered that. I always wondered why everybody just can't come together.
Okay, I'll explain that.
Oh, lovely. I love stories.
Okay. Imagine you, Lauren, you're a very light-complected person like me, so you have a problem with sensitivity, a light to the eyes, right?
Extreme sensitivity.
You get in the sun like me when I was a youngster. If somebody was trying to take a picture, I'm trying to dry the water out of my eyes. I burn pretty easy. I got a lot of freckles on my back. Not too many on the face, but I got a lot on my back.
On the back and shoulders.
Imagine you, Lauren, being in a cave for 600 years without seeing one ray of sunlight.
Wow. I'd be extremely pale.
Have you pictured that?
Yeah, I'd probably have the red under the eyes.
You got that in your mind's eye. Now imagine, after 600 years, the door of the cave was thrown open and you walked out into the sunlight for the first time in 600 years, and that light beamed down on your face. What would it do to you?
I would probably hiss like a vampire, to be honest, but I probably would, just everything would just catch on fire, maybe.
Well,
Just
first
burn
off,
so bad.
no one would live 600. No one would live 600 years. Some species that don't have any light, like at the bottom of the ocean, they end up evolving without actual eyes.
Yep. Or even bats. Some bats.
Right.
Yep.
But this is a hypothetical. So you come out of this cave 600 years and you view your first ray of sunlight. It would blind you. You wouldn't even be able to take it. You'd be looking for the nearest thing that you could find to cover your face from that sun, because it would be blinding.
Yep, exactly.
All right. The Dark Ages went from basically 538 AD to 1798 AD. 1,260 years until the Pope was taken captive by Napoleon's general Berthier in 1798 and was imprisoned. Now, the United States started forming 1770s, so it's right in this period of time where the papal power ended. That beast power was taken into captivity. That horn was killed. That power was killed for a period of time. But for 1,260 years, the papacy ruled the world. No science, no faith, just onslaught, unmerciful killing, the Spanish Inquisition, St. Bartholomew's Massacre, the Reign of Terror during the French Revolution. Read these stories. I mean, there was no discriminating to the Catholics' persecution of the Christians. Young, old, intelligent, smart, dumb, rich, poor. If you were a Christian, you were going to be killed. And these individual reformers, such as Luther, Wesley, Martin Luther, John and Charles Wesley, the Calvins, Zurich Zweigel, John Wycliffe, just to name a few, were given individual rays of sunlight or light from God, truth, because the Catholic Church has suppressed truth for over 1,000 years on this earth. No man got all the truth. Each man got a little ray of truth. One man might have got a ray of truth that infants shouldn't be baptized, because an infant can't make a choice for Jesus Christ. You need to be of sound mind, sound body, of age, to make a choice whether you want to serve the Lord or you want to serve this other power that there may be a satanic power. Yeah. You want to make a choice between the two, okay? You can't make that choice when you're an infant. Now, there was a guy named Menno Simmons who witnessed a man who wanted to be rebaptized burnt as a heretic. And Menno decided, I'm going to dig in the scriptures and find out what the scriptures has to say about baptism. Well, Christ was baptized.
Yep.
Christ, imagine a perfect person being baptized. Christ didn't need no baptism because baptism is something, it's submitting to repentance. Well, Christ didn't have anything to repent of. He was perfect. Yep. So he was being baptized to be an example to you and I to follow in his footsteps. Christ wasn't an infant when he was baptized. He was baptized in 27 AD during the reign of Tiberius, and he was roughly 29 years old, I believe, at his baptism. He was crucified when he was 31 or 33. So he was roughly 29, 30 years old when he was baptized. That he was entering into the ministry.
Wow.
And he said, follow me. So be baptized like I'm being baptized. And that baptism was the indwelling of the Holy Spirit, etc. But Menno Simmons thought, well, the Catholic Church is doing it wrong. They're sprinkling babies. Babies don't have no choice. Babies aren't making a decision one way or the other. God doesn't want you to serve him out of fear or any coercive tactic. Now imagine you fall in love with somebody. And that guy says, well, or, hey, God chose you for me. You don't got no choice.
Yeah.
Because God ordained you for me before the foundations of the world. As some people, like the Calvinists, believe, you're chosen to be lost or be saved, which is not good doctrine.
Yep.
How long do you think that marriage would work?
Not much longer. Not long, but it did work a lot in those days, didn't it?
Well, no, I'm just saying a contemporary marriage of today.
Oh, okay, today.
If your husband took the attitude, you belong to me because that's just the way God planned it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it would last that long.
Probably not.
Probably not, no.
It'd last a while.
Yeah.
It might be able to last
I
a
might
while.
try and make it work, as
Right.
much as I possibly could, but I don't think it would.
Love can't be true love unless love can be rejected. So we're not robots. We're not programmed with data. We have a conscious ability to choose, to love, to hate, to think, to behold, to experience mystery. How could you program that?
You can't.
And think of this mind. Back when Adam and Eve was created, they had 100 capacity. 100 capacity. There was no record keeping in them days. All your birth, your death, all the record keepings of birth, the dates of birth, the dates of death, the dates of marriages, all that stuff was kept in the mind. And it was passed on from generation to generation to generation until they got to the flood era. And man had devolved so much that we had to start writing books and have record keeping to remember stuff because we can't remember nothing anymore. We only use 10% of our brain power, maybe 5% in my case.
I'll say 5% too in my
case.
Yeah.
But imagine what we would be capable of if we used 100%. So the papacy sat on this, and each reformer, whether it was Martin Luther, the John Charles Wesley, the Calvin, Wycliffe, they all let out with their truth. But they were to search new truth. But inevitably what happened in each and every case was that as the said reformer, pick your reformer, aged and died, the followers set up camp around that reformer and said, well, if it's good enough for said reformer, it's good enough for me. Quit searching light. Now, there was one guy named John Robinson. He was the pastor of what they call the he was the pastor of the Holland Pilgrims, headed for the New World. But John wasn't making the trip with them. And as his followers are getting ready to leave for the New World, which was going to be a very perilous journey, he was waving and telling them goodbye and their farewells. John said to his followers, "Follow me no farther than I have followed Christ." Meaning that take what I've taught, but don't stop there. Continue to search new light. That's how all these denominations got set up. One body of Christ, multiple denominations. This has been Frankly Speaking Live with your host, Frank Holzhauser, and Lauren sitting in. And just so happens, I think that's my co-host David's girlfriend's name.
Oh, really? How does she spell her name?
I'm not sure. Maybe Lauren?
Yeah, mine's spelled with a Y, so it's Lauren.
Well, we will be back after the break. About 10 minutes.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Homs,
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money-back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're gonna make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
And we're back with Frankly Speaking Live. Apparently a commercial snafu, and it ran over the intro music, bumper music. So if you missed that little 30 seconds of bumper music, here I am. This has been Frankly Speaking Live with your host, Frank Holzhauser. And David, my normal co-host, is gone this week. We got about 9 minutes left in the show, and Lauren has been kind enough to come in and sit in and listen to me stand on a soapbox. But she says it's been informative.
It's extremely informative.
I'm not...
You not hearing me?
Oh, okay.
There you are.
Yeah, get up to the mic.
There we go.
I was wondering if my sound had went out.
No, I said you were extremely informative.
Well, let me mention something to you and get your thoughts on this. About 1975, I'm 57 years old. So 1975, that's been a while back.
Those are the good years.
Yeah. This is back in the Led Zeppelin era.
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimmy Page and Robert Plant.
There you go.
Anyway, I was sitting in a group of evangelistic series in 1975, and the particular evangelist at the time read off a statistic that kind of floored me, and I still remember it to this day. So that's almost 40 years ago. Now, this is in 1975.
Oops, you'll have to excuse me. I have asthma and I'm about to have
Okay.
a coughing attack.
All right.
Sorry.
That's fine. You have an inhaler?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, come back in. In 1975, the evangelist gave this statistic that 46% of professed Christians don't believe in a literal devil. And is she okay in there? All right. Have you had a couple of these spells today? Okay. Well, Lauren has a touch of asthma, and she's in the other room because she didn't want to have a coughing attack on the microphone, which is very polite of her. But I guess the point is that I'll finish the show with here, and you can rejoin us if you're okay. What I would finish the show with is that, okay, Lauren's joining us again.
Excuse me, folks.
That prednisone works miracles, don't it?
Oh, it does. It
but
does.
I've heard people say that it makes you feel like you're climbing a wall.
Everyone keeps saying that to me today. It's
Well, I think they've I think they've done some things to make that drug a little better, but I used to hear that was the result of it.
well, I use this smaller thing, so it's Pro Air, so
Right.
it's a little bit of prednisone, but not as high.
Well, now that you're back, we got about 6 minutes left in the show. I give you the statistic that about 40%, 46%, that could be even higher now, of professed Christians don't believe in a literal devil. Half the battle is lost if half the Christians don't believe in him. You believe, don't you?
Yes, I do believe.
Have you come across him?
Sometimes, yes. I mean, I always say that, sometimes the devil can come out in people as well as it can with just even nightmares.
Well, anybody that denies the devil, look at our hospitals, our prison system, our insane asylums,
Yep.
our overloaded, not healthcare, but child protective services, human services.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the tragedies in the world and then deny the devil. That's his handiwork.
It's impossible to deny the devil if you look at it that way.
And a lot of people blame that on God.
Everyone's got to blame somebody.
Well, think of this. Black is white, white's black, up is down, down is up, right is wrong, wrong is right. God's work gets blamed, or the Satan's work gets blamed on God, and Satan takes credit for God's work.
Isn't that funny how it works? It's not how it should work. That's definitely not how it should work.
Satan doesn't much care what you believe, just as long as you don't believe the truth. He can think that he doesn't care if you believe that he is he don't care if you believe he don't exist. Deny him that he doesn't exist. Believe that he's the Hollywood version with the cloven hooves, the pitchforks,
Skeleton mask,
the tail, the ears, the green, the red eyes. Or he could sit in your kitchen in a 3-piece suit.
Yeah. That's the scary part about the devil.
Did you ever see the movie with Al Pacino called, I think it was The Advocate?
I didn't get to see that movie, but I heard it was really
Keanu
good.
Reeves was in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think.
Well, Al Pacino was in essence the devil, but he was a businessman in a big high-rise with a 3-piece suit. The devil can come to you any way that he wants to, in any way that you're looking for him.
Yep.
He can come as an angel of light. He can come in a 3-piece suit. He can come like a cloven-foot, hideous-looking monster. And he don't care which one of those you believe.
Nope.
Now, I use this analogy a lot. I don't know if you've ever fished in your life.
Oh, I love fishing.
Okay.
I love fishing.
Do you know what a 3-way hook is?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do.
If you toss out a 3-way hook and a fish gets caught on one of those single barbs of the 3-way hook, does it make any difference to you which barb it was?
Nope.
Just as long as you get him on the bank.
As long as you get that fish, gotta make food, right?
You've ate fish?
Yeah, I love fish.
Okay.
Fish is really good.
So you've eaten fish that you've caught.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have before. When I was younger, not much anymore.
Okay. Well, so if you're a fisherman, you don't care how it gets caught, just as long as it gets caught.
Yep.
All right. Let me give you a bit of wisdom here.
Yay! I love wisdom time.
I hope I tell pretty good stories.
Oh yeah, you do. You're a very good storyteller.
Satan doesn't care which lie you get hung up on. He don't care if you believe he's a Hollywood monster. He don't care if you believe he's in a high-rise with a 3-piece suit on. He doesn't care whether you don't believe in him at all. Just as long as you don't know the truth. And the Bible says, know thine enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Satan fears nothing more than those who know his tactics, how he's going to attack, how he plans to take you out.
Yep.
Well, this has been a strange show this week. Had actually a guest that come in that didn't realize I was going to have. I was actually going to talk about some of the reformers that I've been typing about the individual reformers, but this worked out well.
Yeah, surprise.
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 And your name was Lauren?
Yep, correct.
What, the last name?
Bishop.
Bishop. Lauren Bishop was my guest this week, and Maddie producing. And I think we may take a week or two off until David is able to return, because it's a little easier when you're in the booth with somebody to talk back and forth to.
Oh yeah, I bet it is.
So we will see you potentially in the next couple of weeks when David returns. This has been Frankly Speaking Live with your host, Frank Holzhauser.